All right, you rednecks, settle down. All right, I'm Ken Berry. I don't know if we've met or not, but I'm a family doctor. I've got a little YouTube channel, got a little farm, and I got a good-looking little wife right back there at the center table. And I'm also a proud, God-fearing, red-blooded American Republican. And so I think you're at the right place. Can you hear me okay? Do I need to speak up? So welcome. We'd like to welcome you on behalf of the Benton County Republican Party. Welcome to this evening. There's a lot of good food. You're already partaking of the good camaraderie. And we're going to have, we have several candidates for the 7th Congressional District this evening who we're going to give just a few minutes. Candidates, did you hear me? A few minutes to say hi to everybody and maybe take some of your questions. Candidate number 1 is Stewart Parks, born and raised in Middle Tennessee. He is a successful real estate developer with a passion for preserving historic properties. Until he was unjustly arrested and convicted and sent to prison for 5 months and 10 days for being in Washington, D.C. on January the 6th. He has been officially pardoned by President Trump on Inauguration Day. So you come on up, Stewart. Next up, we have Matt Van Epps, who was Commissioner of the Tennessee Department of General Services under Governor Lee. Matt is a West Point graduate and a veteran of the U.S. Army. As a veteran, he will have the same commitment to serve the people of the 7th District as he brought to serving his country. He resides in Nashville with his wife and daughter. Matt, come on up. Next up is Jason Knight, who has spent his life putting service before self, from defending freedom as a soldier to standing up for his community as a county commissioner. Now he's ready to do the same thing in Washington, D.C., to fight for liberty, protect the Constitution, and to put the people first. Jason Knight. Next up is John Wilt. He's a lifelong conservative, decorated Green Beret veteran, and committed political outsider with a mission to defend American values and bring accountability to Washington, D.C. He is determined to stand against the radical left and restore the integrity to government. John Wilt, come on up. Next up is Jody Barrett, a conservative from District 69. He's a current sitting state representative. That proves by his votes. He is the first legislator in Tennessee history to earn a perfect conservative voting record. He promises to take the same stand in Washington to stand up with President Trump and fight the liberal elites trying to destroy our way of life. Jody Barrett. And there are 2 other candidates who've thrown their hat in the ring. That is Lee Reeves. I think Lee's from Williamson County. He's not here this evening. And then Jay Reedy, who's from Houston County, who's also not here this evening. So next up, each candidate's going to have 5 minutes. And this lady in blue right here is your timer. And when she says hush, you got to hush, okay? All right, beautiful. All right, so first up we have Jason Knight. No, I'm sorry, wrong page. Sorry. First up we have Stewart Parks. Stewart, there you go.
Hey, thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for having me. You want me to stand up here? Or?
Up here. We want to check you out.
God bless you. Wow. Well, it is such an honor to be here in Benton County. I want to honor Miss Debbie Baldwin, host. Please. Yeah, this is amazing. Her putting this together. This is a phenomenal event. Thank you, Benton County Republican, for having it. I also want to thank I believe it's Joe and Judy, Birdsong Marina, for letting us use this beautiful venue to host a good group of conservative people. So my name is Stewart Parks, and literally this time last year I was sitting in a federal prison for being on the front lines of January 6th. You can look it up on the FBI's most wanted list. I was like number 2, number 17, I think like 46 or 48. And the reason why I've decided to run in this race is because I do not want to go back to 2020 and the Biden reign of terror with the transgenderisms and the political persecutions. I saw many wonderful people, children, elderly, just wonderful doctors and lawyers and real estate people and just phenomenal people from January 6th get rounded up and their lives destroyed forever. And so for those of you that may not have heard about me before, I'm born and raised in Nashville. I know I'm a young face, but I am not some transplant from California that got radicalized at UC Berkeley and then decided to come over here and change your way of life. I love Tennessee tradition. I'm like an 8th generation Tennessean. The only connection I can say I have with Benton County is I live in Nashville, and the street that I live on is Camden Drive. So I hope y'all will love that. My parents are here. My best friend, Eric Warden, is here. He picked me up on January 7th. His eyes were just exploding out of his head when he picked me up at the airport because the FBI was calling me a seditionist and a terrorist and traitor and all these things. So it really is like a joy and honor to be here with y'all. I'm unvaccinated. I need to come out and say that. Yes, God bless you for the people clapping. Wonderful, beautiful drive out here in Benton County. I'm like I said, Tennessee conservative Christian, and I'm just like so thankful to be here. So thank y'all so much for having me, and God bless y'all. Thank you so much. And I guess I'll just pass the mic.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Matt Van Epps. Matt.
Hi, thank you all so much. Thank you. Honored, absolutely honored to be here. Thank you all for being here. It's just absolutely incredible. Thanks to Bob and Debbie and everybody who has put this on. This is just amazing. This is what America is. This is coming together to see and hear candidates. This is our democracy. This is our republic. And it's incredible. So thank you all for being here. My name's Matt Van Epps. I'm a Christian. I'm a conservative. I'm a husband. I'm a father. People, as I was thinking, I'm a first-time candidate. Never run for anything before. And as people were asking me, or telling me, hey, Matt, this is going to be a lot of work. Are you ready for it? And I said, well, I think I'm ready for 2 reasons. One, I'm a graduate of the United States Army Ranger School, one of the hardest, most grueling leadership development programs, and I have an 11-month-old daughter, so I don't sleep anyhow. And I'm ready and excited to undertake this. I'm a West Point graduate, was a combat helicopter pilot that served in Iraq and Afghanistan, started flying Apaches, and then later lived in Clarksville and flew Chinooks with the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. I'm running because duty on our country is at the core of who I am, but it goes back beyond and before that. My mom was born and raised very poor, where if she got an orange for Christmas, it was a really good year. My dad was lower middle class, got drafted into Vietnam, was an infantryman and tunnel rat that had really hard combat experience in Vietnam. He came home and he got spit on, he got called names, but he never turned his back on his country. And he was the biggest patriot and conservative that I ever met. My mom and dad never went to college, but they raised us right with faith, family, and freedom, and great friends. And because of that, my brother and I are both West Point graduates because of their hard work and dedication. And that's core to who I am. I'm also running because I see now through my daughter's eyes, and I want what's best for her generation. We have got to keep this. I want to get to D.C. to support the president. I'm an America First guy. The president has been absolutely right. The pendulum has swung in a great direction, and we can't stop that. We've got to keep pushing. I see through my daughter's eyes the transgender and these crazy, terrible issues that Biden propelled, and now we're stopping them. And that's what we've got to keep doing. So I'm excited to do that. I also think, as a servant leader, as a former commissioner of the Department of General Services, this is what we have to do. We've got to listen and hear. I think being an effective representative is listening and hearing and understanding. And I will fight from day one. I'll be ready from day one to fight on behalf of us in D.C. for our values, what makes us great, what makes Tennessee great, what makes our district great. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say a huge thank you to Congressman Green. He is an incredible leader and servant. He's done an amazing job. We're both West Point graduates and both served in 160th, and I think I'll be ready on day one with a well-rounded background in special operations, small business, and state government to pick up that ball and run with it. You look at the incredible work that he's done to secure our border and work with the president to get that done, and that has been incredible. We're seeing really good things. Immigration is really important. We've got to deport illegal aliens, the criminals that are in our country. We've got to do that. I want to get to Congress to do that. That's a cost to us. It's a cost to the taxpayer, and we've got to stop that. There's been incredible work that's been done, and we've got to further that. We're in such a critical time right now. I've had the opportunity and the fortune to be on some amazing teams, to go through some really hard Army training, to be a combat veteran. And this right now is the most critical job most critical undertaking I've ever attempted to do, because it's so vital right now. We have to hold the line. We've got to do this, and I'm excited about it. But there's also huge opportunity. Our best days are ahead. The president, he is doing incredible work. The big, beautiful bill is going to drive in incredible parts of the economy, and it's so important. And I'm really excited to be able to be a part of that solution. So again, my name's Matt Van Epps. I'm going to hope to earn your trust. I would love to earn your vote. Our website is mattfortn.com. That's FOR, so you can learn more there, and I'll be here to answer more questions too. But the final thing I'll say is that as I think back to my time in Iraq and Afghanistan and some very difficult combat experiences, when you think about America and what is great about America, this is what you see. You see folks coming together. You see the patriotic red, white, and blue. You hear the amazing singing that we had to start. I mean, that is truly America. And that's what I want to help to continue to defend and support. So thank you all so much again. It's great to be here.
Next up, Jason Knight. Jason.
I appreciate you all. Thank you, everybody, for allowing each one of the candidates here to tell their story and give you guys an idea of why we're running. Each have probably a really good story as to, how they're going to support you and what they're going to do in order to ensure that they're taking care of your needs as constituents. Now, I am Jason Knight. I'm a proud father and husband of 7 kids, believe it or not. But I'll say that my days of having an 11-month-old is gone, so thank God for that. But I've done 20 years in the Army, 9 years active at Fort Campbell, 3 combat tours, twice to Iraq, once to Afghanistan. Now, all that service is great, but let me tell you why I decided to join the Army, why I decided to put duty, honor, and country at the forefront of everything that I do. So imagine you wake up in the morning, you have this feeling that you don't want to go to work. You don't know why, you just have this odd feeling that's coming over you. But you go to work anyway. Here I am in the mailroom at the Citibank building in Manhattan, in New York. All of a sudden, I hear my supervisor at the time with some of the other leads in the back listening to a radio broadcast of some kind. Here I am wondering what's going on. Have no clue. So I decided, because there were no cell phones at the time that I had, I called on the payphone to my mother, who worked in Manhattan a little bit further down. I called her and I said, "Mom, what's going on? As a young man, here I am in Manhattan working, things are going on and I'm scared." Called my mother. She said, "Oh my gosh, honey, you didn't hear?" I said, "No, Mom, what?" "An airplane just hit one of the towers." Here I am, 1 mile away from where the Twin Towers stood. So I said, "Oh my God." So, suffice it to say, I quit my first job real fast. I left out of there, and by the time I got out, it was a scene out of a movie. You saw smoke everywhere. police officers in full gear. Here I am, running my way all the way down to the South Street Seaport. If you've ever been to New York, the South Street Seaport is off to my right, tower's off to the left. The ground started shaking. I look over to my left, and there's the second tower, just crumbling in on itself. I couldn't go back that direction, so what I did was I had to climb over where the bridge met the road. I climbed over and ran as fast as I could until I got tired. Made it to the midway of the bridge, looked over, and there's a mushroom cloud where the Twin Towers stood. At that moment, it sparked in me to join the military and do something for my country, which I did. And I served 20 years doing that. And I'm currently doing that right now as an officer in the Army Reserves, as a major. Then, a few years later, we had a representative on a county commission within my area in Clarksville who decided to increase taxes. And I spoke to a few of you here about the reason why I'm running, right? He decided to increase taxes, the wheel tax. And I got upset because for some, an increase in tax can mean either paying a bill or purchasing groceries. So I said, you know what? If this guy can do it, so can I. And I decided to get out there. I knocked on every single door within that area and won that election. And I made 2 vows to my constituents. 2. And I've kept that vow to this day. And I promise to do the exact same thing if I'm entrusted with your vote and your support. 1, never voted for a tax increase. And 2, to always communicate with my constituents. And I have done that 100%. I've also fought as a county commissioner for First Amendment rights all the way up to the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals, almost making it to the Supreme Court. I fought for Second Amendment rights by drafting legislation on the City Council to protect our Second Amendment rights. This is the reason why I'm running, to bring that decisiveness, that true conservatism, not one that we talk about, but one that you live, right? This is what you want in a representative, someone who stays true to their word no matter what, who stays true to themselves no matter what, who stays true to you, the constituents, no matter what. And this is why I'm running. I'm Jason Knight. I hope to gain your vote. I hope to gain your support. I appreciate y'all. God bless America.
Next up is John Wilt. John?
All righty. Hey, thanks, Miss Debbie Baldwin, the folks from Benton County, the Birdsong Marina. Appreciate you allowing us to come out here. And thank you all so much for coming out. My name's John Wilt. I'm a lifelong conservative. I'm a combat veteran. And I'm a retired Green Beret colonel. And with your blessing and with your votes, I'd be honored to serve and go to Washington, D.C. to represent you and to promote Donald Trump's agenda to make America great, to secure our borders, and to have a strong national defense, peace through strength. You know, I spent most of my adult life fighting evil and chaos and disorder around the world. And reading today's headlines, I'm realizing it's right here in our country. And as a soldier, I was taught to move to the sound of the gun, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm running. I want to serve. Today's headlines reminded me of that old saying that Ronald Reagan reminded us of, that freedom is a fragile thing. It's only one generation away from extinction. It's not part of our inheritance. Each generation needs to fight for it and defend it continually. And I think that's where we are right now. When you have the radical left and the Democratic Party supporting jihadis, supporting intifada around the world, supporting Hamas, and supporting a communist for the mayor of New York City. It's time to fight. I think it's too late. We need to get into the fight and go now. That's why I'm here. My wife Donna and I, in the back there, my beautiful wife Donna, live in Linden, Tennessee. I came to Tennessee. We chose to live here because of the people, the values, and just the peace. A place to come after 34 years of running hard in the Army. I came here for a rest. But now I see it's time to follow the sound of the guns, get in the fight. Don and I we believe that Jesus Christ is our good, risen Lord and Savior. We are members of the Linden Baptist Church. We're members of the praise team. We volunteer in our community. And I hope you all come down to Linden on September 27th for our Remembering World War II event that we're going to have. We're proud parents of Luke, who's active in Republican politics. And I'm proud of Luke, but I'm really proud of my little girl, Hannah. Hannah's a college student and a first team All-American soccer player. So, my values really come from my folks, my parents, who were Depression era folks. They were part of that greatest generation, and they taught me about the importance of God and country and family. And that's what I'll bring to bear to the fight. Dad was a Korean War veteran, and he used the GI Bill when he came home to learn how to do auto body work so he could support the family. He showed me the importance and the rewards from hard work. Dad built the house that I lived in when I grew up, and I don't know anybody else has done that. I don't know how he did it. So one of the things that's different about Donna and I, we are outsiders politically. I've never given a political speech before. This is the first one. But one of the things that's different is we both worked at the executive level in our government inside the Beltway. Please don't hold that against us. But what that brings to us is knowledge of how the system works and how to work inside the system to make change. Washington, D.C. chews up and spits out new people all the time. And, with your help, we can go to D.C. and I can fight for the folks that live right here in Benton County. Folks at that hospital over in Camden, which is a vital economic engine of all of our small counties. I'll go up there and I'll fight for my friends Joey and Heather at Tactical Response. I'll fight for you and their Second Amendment rights. And also, I'll fight for the folks over at the Country and Western Steakhouse. They made that dynamite marinated ribeye. So recommend you all go out there and try some of that. So get out there. Whoever you vote for, vote. I'm John Wilt, and God bless America.
We need all the candidates to be making your way back up to the front for Q&A. Next up is Jody Barrett.
Good evening. How is everybody? Good. Come on, y'all can do better than that. How is everybody? Good. All right, let's get a little energy going in here. First of all, before I get started, I'm Jody Barrett. I'm state representative for the 69th District. I represent Hickman, Lewis, and Dixon County proudly because that's my hometown. It's where I grew up. I was born and raised there. Before I get into my speech and telling you about who I am and what I'm going to do and how I'm going to fix all the problems in D.C. and y'all don't have to worry about it anymore, can we first honor these gentlemen that came before me who have served our country and thank them for their service? And if there are any veterans in the room, will you stand up so we can recognize you too, please? Thank you all for your service. Thank you. Look, I know that some of y'all are wondering who this guy is. I'm not Mark Green. I'm not trying to be Mark Green. The sequel's never as good as the original, so I'm just trying to be the original Jody Barrett. I've never been in a federal prison. I've never flown a helicopter or been shot at. The closest thing to being shot at is my brothers who are 6 and 7 years older than me, who duct taped me to a motorcycle and shot Roman candles at me while I was going across the field. Thankfully, I haven't had to do that. But I have served in other ways. What I do have to offer you, what I do have to offer the Congressional 7th District is a record. You don't have to guess what I'm going to do if I get elected to go to D.C. to represent you. All you have to do is look at my voting record. I'm the first legislator in state history to have a perfect 100 score on the Tennessee Legislative Report Card. I have run bills and passed bills that deal with medical freedom. The first bill that I passed as a freshman, and most guys that whenever you run a bill as a freshman, and Dr. Martin's here, he knows, you get handed a bill by the administration, and it's one of those things, it's just an easy pass, and you stand up there and they give you a hard time, laugh at you, and then eventually they pass your bill. Well, the first bill that I got on the House floor was dealing with immunization records for homeschoolers, because there was a law in the books that was an anti-liberty law that required homeschoolers to submit their immunization records to the director of schools for the county that they lived in. And we got that bill passed in Tennessee so that, again, medical freedom and medical privacy for students is an important thing. That was the first foray of going toward this conservative record that I've got. The other things that I've done, whenever we had, y'all remember the special session on anti-red flag laws? You remember the red flag laws? I was one of 4 members of the House to vote to adjourn the session before we ever started. I've been punished for that. So what we did right after that, when we got back in January, we got into regular session, I drafted and filed the anti-red flag law in Tennessee that says no red flag law can be created unless it starts at the state level. So we don't have these woke left crazy cities in Nashville and Memphis creating their own city ordinances that makes it to where we can't carry our guns wherever we need to go, wherever we want to go. Because we're a Second Amendment state, we believe in the Constitution, and we're going to defend that here. This year, I've had a little bit more of an interesting year in the state legislature. So, y'all may have heard about this little thing called school vouchers. Yeah, it was a tough fight. Well, I represent a rural district with 3 counties with no private schools in it. And all of the communication that I got from my district, it was 100-to-1 opposed to the school vouchers. So the choice that I had to make at that time, with the pressure that we were receiving from the governor's office and from leadership, was who did I work for? Do I work for the people that I represent that elected me? Do I work for the governor? Do I work for the Speaker of the House? Do I work for my majority leader? And the answer is clear. I work for you guys. I work for the people that elected me to that office. My job as a representative is to be the conduit for your voice. I'm supposed to say what you would say if you were sitting in that room. I'm supposed to push the button that you would push if you were in charge of that. So this 100 voting score, Conservative Legislator of the Year, all these awards that have been given to me, they're not my awards. They're the awards that belong to the people that I represent. I was just the conduit through which that their voice was heard in Nashville. What I will offer to you is, again, I have a 3-year record. It's easy to look up. You can see the bills that I've run, the bills that I've passed. This year, the human smuggling bill, that was my bill. The bill that rolls back the governor's emergency powers when he stepped all over our constitutional rights during COVID, that was my bill. The bill that says if you have public restrooms that have girls in it, only girls can go in there. That was my bill. These are the things that I'm going to do at the national level when I get up there. The America First conservatives in D.C. need help. They need reinforcements. The Freedom Caucus needs help. They need people that are willing to go up there and recognize that we have a $36 trillion debt and we can't grow our way out of that. We've got to turn this aircraft carrier around, and the only way we're going to do that is with years and years of consistent conservative fiscal policy. We can't go swinging this pendulum back and forth. So whoever we elect this time, he's giving me the hook here. Whoever we elect has to be somebody that can get reelected next year in the midterms and is willing to go up there and fight and stand up for you, and no matter who it is you're fighting against. Whether it's leadership, whether it's the president, I work for you guys. I don't work for them. Thank you.
Okay, we need all the candidates back up front in a line. Next up is the swimsuit competition. So we need you.
3 months on your diet, Doc.
What do you guys think? Do we got a winner in here somewhere? What do you think? Yeah?
So I know I joke about Dick the Butcher from Shakespeare all the time, but an unfortunate fact of life is that sometimes you need legal representation. And in Tennessee, there are over 40,000 pages of laws, and that doesn't include the federal ones. And that is where today's sponsor comes in. Turklay Law, PLLC. Okay, legal representation is not just for people who find themselves on the wrong side of the law. So whether it's something fairly standard like writing a strongly worded letter or a will, or you have something more complicated like serious criminal charges, federal civil rights lawsuit, or God forbid, you have to submit a records request in Putnam County, Turklay Law PLLC has you covered. 615-838-5903 is how you can reach him, and Mr. Turklay has personally helped me with my federal civil rights lawsuit, and it saved me a lot of headache, a lot of money. So what I need you to do is take a screenshot, write this phone number down, send the screenshot to your girlfriend or significant other. That way you have a copy of it when you need it most. You never know when you could find yourself needing an attorney. So Turklay Law, PLLC, 615-838-5903. Navigating the legal process can be difficult, and a single mistake can cost you thousands. So take my advice. Make Daniel your first call. He's mine. He should be yours too. Whether you are looking for someone to handle personal injury or federal civil litigation, he will have you covered. Be sure to tell him the Patriot Punk sent you. Again, that's Turklay Law, PLLC, 615-838-5903. Now back to the District 7 candidates.
Don't forget to drop $5 or $10 in the bucket. Don't forget to sign the sign-in sheet before you leave this evening. Okay, the first question is not on a card. The first question is mine. It's my pay for doing this evening. Gentlemen, you have 1 minute to answer this question, so do not equivocate. Definitely don't conflate. Okay? Do you believe with all your heart that every American citizen has a right of self-defense using any common firearm that they can get their hands on? And do you understand very clearly what the words "shall not be infringed" mean?
Yes.
Yes.
How's that?
That's good, yeah.
The answer is
Go down the line,
yes. The answer is yes. I believe in constitutional permitless carry. I've been in situations. I'm a real estate developer, and I've been in areas that were high crime. And I remember one time there was a sketchy situation where I went to call the police, and the police said, "Sorry, you're on the low priority list. We're not going to come help you." So that was a wide awakening to me that we need. Every citizen needs to be armed. So the answer is yes.
Pass it on down.
Yes, absolutely.
Not just yes, but hell yes. And that's when you start clapping, right? And I'll go further and say that I drafted, as I stated before, Second Amendment sanctuary resolution at the city for the city of Clarksville. So I don't just say yes, I've actually implemented the yes. So there you go.
Yeah, the answer is yes. And as a survivor of a home invasion, where my mother, when I was 12 years old, defended me with a 12-gauge shotgun and chased the folks away, it's an absolute yes. And yeah.
Okay, we've got them all on record. So if that changes next year, you know, these folks right here, they're nice until you piss them off. You understand that, right? These people will send you home. Right? Okay, next question. How are you prepared, and how do you plan to fill the boots of Mark Green?
Well, as I said, I'm not trying to be the next Mark Green. You know, I'm not an expert in the border. I'm not an expert in cyber crime. My expertise is dealing with the people in the rural districts, knowing what they want, what they need, voting the way that they want. I'm concerned about the kitchen table issues, the things that we worry about every day. How do we pay for our groceries? How does my 24-year-old daughter afford a house when she's paying $1,800 a month for a crappy apartment in Nashville? How do we deal with this situation in TVA when they're shutting down New Johnsonville and shutting down these plants left and right and then taking land from people under gunpoint in Cheatham County? Those are the issues that I'm concerned about.
So again, as I stated, the reason why I'm running, I think Mark Green did a great job. I remember on January 6, 2021, Mark Green voted against pushing the election fraud, and so he was one of the brave few people that stood against, the communist takeover that we just came out of. So as a Tennessee Christian conservative, I plan to vote conservative, and I want to undo all the horrors of the Biden inflation, strengthen our economy. I will not be a rhino Republican. You will know from the beginning how I vote. And you see people like Senator Murkowski went on the news and said that she'd think about joining the Democrat Party. So, I mean, that's insane to me. We have a majority in the House and the Senate, and we're still barely getting things passed. So we can never go back to a Democrat majority in anything. We do this thing where we volley back and forth. Republicans win one thing, and the next year Democrats win. We can't do that. We can never go back to Democrat leadership in anything. So I will vote conservative in the event I'm elected. So thank you.
Thanks so much. I think it's a great question. Congressman Green and I do have a similar background. We're both West Point graduates. We both served in the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. And he has done a phenomenal job to work with the president to secure the border, to deport criminal illegal aliens, to drive common sense solutions on behalf of all of us. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work really hard every single day to pick up that ball and run with it. We are at such a critical inflection point that there's nothing less we'll do. We've got to move really fast, and we've got to continue the amazing work to back up the president. And I'm really excited to be able to do that with a background in special operations, state government, and small business. I think I'm ready from day one to be able to pick up that ball and take the fight on behalf of all of us and fight really, really hard to pass the things that we have to do to protect our country, our state, and our district. Excited to do it. Thank you so much.
All right, from my standpoint, there's two secrets that not many people know about me. One, I was sworn in for my very first county commission seat by Congressman Mark Green himself. That's the first thing. Now, he wouldn't do that unless our values had not aligned, which it did. And having been a service member, just as he was, having voted for the big beautiful bill, as he did, and having been a strong proponent of protecting our borders, as I am as well, I promise, I give you that promise, that I will be exactly as hard with border security as Mark Green has. And here's the second reason why, this little secret I told you about. So, not many people know that my mother, right, was a legal immigrant. Legal. Did every single thing, every processes required in order to get her green card, every process which I helped her with to get her citizenship, and the very first person she was able to vote for was me. So yes, you can clap. You can clap. So yes, I will be hard on illegal immigration. I'll be hard in reference to the borders. You can guarantee that I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, both my wife Donna and I have served at senior levels in the government. On one of my last jobs, I was a colonel commanding a unit that went to the counter-ISIS campaign in Syria and Iraq. I worked in that case with a two-star general where we were looking at destroying evil every day. In Germany, I worked at the 3-star level and 4-star level sometimes, and worked on issues in Ukraine, visited Georgia, throughout Eastern Europe. So I've got combat experience. I've got relatively recent experience in conflicts, but I also have a legal background. I've got a law degree from the George Washington University, and I worked for a time as a legal clerk at the Drug Enforcement Administration. So what I bring is battlefield experience with some legal insights. And it really helped me as an Army officer to understand the authorities, that what we were doing was legal, to take a step back before we gave somebody the thumbs down. So I bring that to the fight, but I'm not going to forget my friends in Perry County and the friends in the district. You know, when the folks at church are telling me that they can't sell white oak right now because of the tariffs, we'll see if we can do something to help them. But you know what? Those great Americans are saying, hey, John, we're willing to get through this time because it's worth it for our country. But I'm going to listen to the folks from the district and fight for your interest up in D.C.
Thank you. Next question. This is a good one. Listen to this. Would you vote for and push legislation at the federal level for same-day voting, U.S. citizens only vote, no one else, and paper ballots? You like that question? So we want to know what you think about same-day voting, only U.S. citizens vote, and paper ballots.
So this is an easy one for me. I've run bills every year that I've been in the legislature to close primaries. I've run bills for paper ballots. I've run bills for same-day voting. And I've run bills to shut down the convenience center voting. So, yes, I'm 100% in favor.
So literally, the answer is yes. What he just said, I'm in favor of voting for that same-day voting, paper ballot. I literally went to prison this time last year because of election fraud from states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, and Georgia. And so the answer is absolutely yes. I don't even trust these voting machines. You can look at my statements I made. I ran for Congress in 2022 in District 5, and even back then I said, wait, this is election fraud. I don't trust our election systems. Places in other countries, they do same-day elections and paper ballots, and they can get it done, by the end of the day. We can do the same thing. So the answer is absolutely yes. I want to get rid of these voting machines. So thank you.
Thanks. That's a great question. I think the short answer is yes, but the bigger picture answer too is election integrity and security. And the president is leading on this, and I want to be there to support the president as we push that further. It's an America First priority, and as an America First person, I want to be there to support the president to do that. My service also continues. I'm still in the National Guard. I'm a lieutenant colonel, deputy brigade commander, and I live this. And it's so important to protect the things that are most dear to us that make our country what our country. And so excited to fight on behalf of all of us for that. Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Daniel Wagner from the Patriot Punk Network, and we have some more coming up from the GOP picnic in Benton County, where you get to get a little bit of a taste for the candidates that are running for the Congressional District 7. But first, a word from our sponsors here, and today we're going to be talking about A State of Creative. A State of Creative features quite a few pretty darn nice things for your butt. It's pretty much anything you can set your butt on. It's all pre-owned furniture that's been restored, refurbished, repaired, recolored, reconditioned. Whatever it needs, he can fix it. And yeah, lots of cool pieces here available for your purchase. He will deliver to pretty much anywhere in the Middle Tennessee area, and if not, farther on out. So yeah, check those things out from A State of Creative, and be sure to tell them Patriot Punk sent you for $50 off of your purchase. And now back to see the candidates.
I'll say what everybody else has said. The answer is yes, but I'll say that the question is missing one other thing: having no dead people voting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I say yes as well, but we need some caveats, because there's a lot of folks that are U.S. citizens that live overseas, not just soldiers and sailors. We got contractors, we got other folks. So we need to make sure we get that out soon enough, which may be an issue in this election, so those folks can vote.
Yep. Excellent. Good answers there. Okay, now, look out across the audience. A lot of these people have been doing this politics thing for a long time. And they have believed in people, and they've sent people to D.C. only for those folks to somehow be zombified and forget every promise that they made standing up here and do something completely different in D.C. Y'all ever seen that happen? Well, the writer of this question has also seen that, and they say, if elected, will you promise to represent these people and not the elite, and not participate in the insider trading and get rich quick when you get to Congress?
So again, my record, I stand on my record. That's what I've done for the 3 years that I've been in the state legislature. It's part of the reason why I'm not so popular with my leadership right now. It's because I represent the people of the 69th district. I vote the way they want me to vote. I run bills they want me to run. That's the job as a representative. It's not my opinion that matters, it's your opinion that matters. The second half of the question about investing in stocks and doing all that stuff, I don't own any stocks. I just got my first Satoshis last night with Bitcoin. So I'm a Bitcoin guy now, apparently. But no, let me be honest with you. I don't want this job. I don't want to go to D.C. I'm doing this because I'm called to do it. I'm called by my constituents. I'm called by the grassroots conservatives across this district and across this state that have asked me to run. I'm called by God to serve my country and to serve my community. And so I'll go into the lion's den and do that, and I'll come home and I will sleep nice and easy on my pillow because I know that I'm going to do the right thing every time.
That is a phenomenal question. So God's blessed me. Like I said, real estate developer, licensed real estate broker, own a property management company. So I don't need to trade stock. I don't even think I own any stock. Maybe like a retirement account I forgot about several years ago. But seriously, I don't trade stock. I don't take bribes. I will not be doing what the Biden crime family did and take bribes from China and all these foreign countries that we've never heard about. So, these insider trading, you see what Nancy Pelosi did. She got me thrown in prison because it was a setup on January 6th. And so I'm still shocked that she has this giant net worth from insider trading and she still hasn't done her time in prison. So great question, and God bless you for asking that. So here you go.
It's an amazing question, and absolutely. I come from a background where values and principles are really, really important. The Army values are still really core to who I am and what I try to build into teams: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And that extends beyond the Army. It extends into every team that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of. It extended into my service in state government, most recently as the Commissioner of General Services. And that's really, really important. I think it comes down to culture and team building and leading by example. And that's really important to me. And it's what you all deserve and what you all are owed. I mean, that is effective representation, is listening, and it is being a part of the community and the team and being responsive and accountable to that. Our values in general services spelled out team. It was thorough, engaged, accountable, and motivated. And I think that's really important, and that's what I'll bring from day one. And thank you all so much.
I'll say something similar. The Army values have always been instilled with me from the time I joined. I don't own any stocks. I don't plan on owning any stocks. I'm a regular guy, just like each and every one of you. And my job, my duty, is to my constituents, which, as I stated before, I have always fulfilled the needs of every single constituent within my districts. When I ran for county commission, every single person within that district knew me. When I ran for city council, same, to the point where I won with just over 50-something% of the vote. When I ran for county commission again, I won with over 60% of the vote. Why? Because I'm connected with the constituency of that community, and I plan to do the exact same thing if I'm entrusted with your vote. Thank you.
So one of the best pieces of advice I ever got when I was a young officer was never violates your integrity. And it's hard to do. And you always got to do the right thing, even when it hurts. That's one of the things my dad taught me. Sometimes you got to fall on your sword and pay a price to do the right thing. And I'll do that if I go up to D.C. The other thing is I think everybody should own some stocks. That's a piece of America. That's what makes us great. We own a little piece of every little company and every major company in this country. And, the stock market has risen 10% every year since 1928. It's a great investment. Buy America. But I'm not going to do insider trading because I got the Spirit of God inside of me that'll convict me, and I got Donna back there that will not allow me to do it. So,
All right, you guys got it. You got it down right on record. So when they get up there and start the foolishness, we're going to let them have it. That's right. Okay, last question, and then I want Miss Debbie to come up, our current Benton County Chair. How do you feel about term limits? And we want your honest opinion. If you're for them, say it. If you're against them, say it. Term limits, pro or con?
I believe in term limits. I signed the term limit pledge for the state whenever I ran the first time. I do think we've got an issue with the Mitch McConnells and those folks that are being wheeled around in wheelchairs and brought in to vote. We don't need that in D.C. We don't need it in Nashville. We've got to put something in place that puts some sort of limit. We do it for other positions that we elect and we appoint. We need to do the same thing for our elected officials. Of course, ultimately, we do have term limits now. It's every 2 years. You guys get to decide whether or not we've done a good job. You are the term limits. If we don't do what we're supposed to do and we lie about these questions, y'all call us home. That's what you're supposed to do.
So, my opinion on the question that he just asked, and I'll be honest with you, the real issue is election integrity. We can show up and have Christian conservatives at every ballot and vote for the right guy, but then if they switch it with the voting machines and all this stuff, it doesn't no good. And so as far as like term limits, I'm open to signing a piece of legislation for that. But the real, term, like Mr. Barrett just said, term limits are, in a sense, already enacted or in place. You just got to go vote. And it's insane how many people don't vote. I mean, I bet there's people that don't even know that there's a special election going on right this second. So, we just need to get people to vote. I mean, Christian conservatives, it's sad to say, but we have one of the worst turnouts for elections. And so my answer is get the election integrity situation resolved and then get people out to vote. And if you have a candidate that's doing insider trading, whatever, just vote them out. So that's my answer to your question.
It's another great question. I think the framers to the Constitution, our founding fathers, were just brilliant and amazing, and they did incredible work. And I also think so. I think it is really hard to change term limits, and I think that's how it should be. I agree. You all are the term limits. It is, and that's how it should be. If someone's not doing the right thing or not doing a good job, then the next person's up. I do believe too that spending a lifetime in office is not the right thing. It just doesn't. We need to get more folks in. We need to get other ideas and other in it. So I'm really am supportive and believe in you all as the deciders of that. Thank you.
I absolutely believe in term limits. If I remember correctly, we had a term limit resolution on the county commission that I had voted yes for. So I can definitively say the answer is yes.
Okay, so I agree with Randy. You got term limits every 2 years, and it's a constant grind to keep running. So that's one. But the second is, I took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States against enemies, foreign and domestic. And our Constitution right now doesn't call for term limits. So if we're going to change it, it's got to be a countrywide movement. They can start right here, and we can begin to move that. But it's a hard process to get a constitutional amendment to change term limits. If we want to do that, let's do it.
All right, my friends, that is our candidates. Now I want to introduce to you our current Benton County chairperson who made all this possible, who filled up this room and filled up your bellies, Debbie Baldwin. Debbie?
Thank you. I'd like to say thank you to all of my group that helped me, that brought food, helped cook. I cooked too, but everybody else cooked too. Thank all the candidates for coming and showing up and showing out for us. I'd like to see how many county chairs we've got here. If you'd raise your hand or stand up, please. Thank all of y'all for coming. You're part of the coalition that's going to get one of these guys elected. Hopefully one of these guys. We've got 2 or 3 that didn't make it tonight, but we've heard from these. I've appreciated every word. I don't know about y'all, but I've learned a little bit about each one of them. I'd like for everybody to please sign the register on your way out. I know everybody didn't sign coming in, but I would like to have a record of everybody that was here tonight. And I think, there's a donation bucket. We always like donations to help pay for some of the food that we spent money on tonight, the burgers and hot dogs our chapter provided. So we'd like to fill the kitty back up. Anybody got anything they'd like to say before we leave tonight?
Thank you.
And thank Ken, wherever you are, Ken, thank you for emceeing for us. I guess y'all can hear I have a rough voice, so I don't talk a lot. So I would if I could talk well, but I can't. I'm raspy. So everybody's free to go. If you come up on the golf cart, you may have to take turns getting back down. Thank everybody for coming.